Yeah, great, really great day. Fortunate for us, as you know, we go early in the morning here in the spring and got a beautiful day to start practice. Our guys have worked really hard through the winter. The rules allow us to do a few more walkthroughs with the football. It was good for us, changing offense coordinators once again and putting in the time this winter. Obviously, lifting and running and getting stronger and putting a bunch of time in the weight room, but also getting some time to do some walkthroughs, and it was evident today as we were further along than you would anticipate with spring one or spring practice number one. So really good start. I'd also like to mention that just we're thinking about and praying for the people that were affected by the storms. You know, the wind and some damage I think we could all live with, but some of the tragedy that was involved, certainly thinking of those folks. So hopefully everybody's getting through it and getting back to normal. With us, we're going to go 3 practices here this week and get back at it tomorrow, and then take spring break off and come back and finish it up. So I just walked off the practice field, so excited to go watch the film. I just think, just looking at broad strokes, very encouraged. I feel like we have a good team. Again, I feel like we have some good, a mixture of some guys with some experience. I feel like we are continue to get bigger in certain areas. I like that. Obviously, the transfer everybody's going to want to talk about with Devin. He looked really good. Was able to go through basically an entire practice. I'm sure that the trainers are watching him and limiting him but to my eye, it was basically an entire practice, and he was just fine and looked really good, along with the other quarterbacks. I think they're making strides, working really hard, working with Liam to improve in a lot of ways. So. So I'll open it up for questions.
Do you all anticipate Devin being able to throw and do all those types of things?
Yeah, yeah, he was out there pretty much full go here today. So I know, not sure what it is right off the top of my head, but I know he's on a pitch count. But the way we rotate quarterbacks and have depth, it didn't affect me or the way I saw practice.
Do you have any guys that are out from off-season surgeries or whatever?
We do. Do you want a list of those?
It's helpful if we know about the guy to know he's injured versus not playing.
Some guys that will be out till further notice would be Nick Hall, Ramon, Josh Caddis, Jordan Dingle, and Khalil Saunders. Some other guys may be limited a little bit, but those guys are out with, yes, they had procedures done in the off season.
Mark, is there a group where you're maybe not concerned, might not be the right word, but curious about what you got coming back or coming in?
Probably quite a few. You just want to make sure you're improving, growing. I think it's fair to say that I've addressed it. You've written about it, probably talked about it. That we need to improve in certain spots in the offensive line. I think we've addressed that issue. Always want to continue to work really hard and get better. But personnel-wise, I feel good, and I feel like we have some numbers and some guys to work with, and I like their approach. And there's quite a few. I just feel like there's really good leadership with Eli and Jagger have another year experience, and of course Kenneth. But then you bring in a guy like Marcus Cox, and he's so big and athletic and really good person, good leader, and just the way he goes about his business, the way he goes through walkthroughs, the way he goes through meetings. I mean, he's just a very mature young man and works really hard, and by the way, he looks very athletic out there. So that's a good thing.
Mark, you talked about getting bigger. You brought in a couple of defensive backs, Ohio State and Cincinnati. great size. How do they assimilate in? I know they're still in underwear, but what's
Yeah.
it like with them out there?
No, I think Jansen and JQ, they both are what you're looking for. They both can run. They're big guys. You know, there's a lot of length out there. I like that. You know, I feel like, you know, Andrew stepped right in, which you'd expect. He had a lot of experience at nickel, looked good at corner today. So I like that group. I feel like there's, you know, some definitely some bodies to work with, and, you know, and so. You know, we'll see. You know, another guy like Jordan Robinson last year he redshirted and had a hamstring quite a bit of the early part of the year, and you know that's hard to judge him once you get in the season and all that. But he's had a nice winter and good start to the spring practice today. He was noticeable out there again. Another guy with really good length.
Is Vito full go?
Vito's back and he's close to full go. Yeah, he's out there. He's not limited. He's out there and able to go. We didn't have pads on today, and we'll see how it goes with, you know, whether it gets sore or not. Sometimes you got to be a little bit cautious with those knees. I'm sorry.
Did I hear you mention Brendan Bates?
Yeah, Bates is out as well. I don't see him on my list there. Susan failed. Susan failed to put that on. This was my detailed notes for today, Lonnie.
He seemed to have a lot of issues since he's been here over the last.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine. You know, that's a tough position. Those tight ends, man, they have to do a lot, and they get banged up. And Batesy will be fine. I'm really looking forward to having him back and being at full strength. And I could relate going through shoulder surgery this offseason myself. That sucks. Yeah.
You talked about those walkthroughs. What do those look like, and why are they so important? You talked about the importance of them.
Well, are you trying to get me in trouble? Walkthrough's a walkthrough. So it just different rules, different years, things are slightly different. You're able to have a football involved in a walkthrough, which makes common sense. And so we did, and just helps.
Mark, we've heard you talk in the past about the early enrollees and how important it is to get them here in the spring. How those guys, do you expect them to do well, and like anybody you're looking at, anything like that?
Yeah, I think, you know, I don't really want to single out any one in particular person. I think in general, I love the group. They've fit right in. They've done a great job through winter. We went back to having some pretty intense winter workouts. I don't know, some people call them mat drills, different drills we do early in the morning, and had 3 weeks of those, and went early in the morning and you know, just worked the guys, and you know, all the newcomers fit right in. You know, it's not like they couldn't keep up or anything like that. So they've been working hard, and I liked the guys' attitude, and it was good to get back to some of that.
I don't know how much of the combine you caught, but having guys like Will and Chris on that main podium, basically selling the program, how motivating is that for the guys that are here and just boosting the program?
You know, we're just very proud of those guys, and you know, I didn't catch exactly what they said, but you know, we're just very proud of them. They put a lot of time in here. We're great leaders, great players, great people, and it's no surprise that they would go on and be successful. They're prepared, and we're just behind them, and it's also good. It's nice. We had some of the pros coming back, and they enjoy coming back and working with us, so it's good to see.
Mark, when Will came in here, he took a leadership role immediately. How have you seen Devin just being around the building, one practice, to kind of take a leadership role?
Devin is just waiting to lead, you know, and what I mean by waiting is he's earning it, and he's doing it respectfully. He can take over a room in 5 minutes, but he knows that it's, you know, about going out and proving it day in and day out, and not forcing that. You've heard me talk about that before. I think it's very important to just be authentic, be who you are, but also lead and find your voice and at the right time in the right moment. And I think he is certainly, you know, let's just put it this way, it'll be very easy for him to step into a full command type of position. He's that kind of guy.
Mark, do you feel, in terms of Leon, that his familiarity with the roster, that you're ahead of schedule with a coordinator change at this point?
Well, it is. I mean, just by the way, just the timing of it, right? Last year and this year was different. You know, it certainly helped us with the timing of it. Even though I have to wait through the pro season, it still was sooner than it was a year ago, and you know that helped. And he is familiar with it, and you know the players. Many of the players have been through it with him and know him personally. Even the recruits, even if they didn't play under him, they knew him. You know, through that year of recruiting prior to that, and so. I think the familiarity definitely helps.
Mark, there's a lot of pieces in that running back room. I know one guy's coming back off injury, Ray's coming in transferring. Juton had a lot of experience. A couple of young guys. What are you looking to see from that group this spring?
Yeah, just consistency, just working hard, and you know I think Ray brings a guy in with great experience, great proof to be successful in the SEC. We've got a ton of confidence in Juton. You've heard me talk about him for years, and so I think those two will take the lead position, but we have very good players behind them as well.
Mark, how do you see Keyshawn Silver fitting into your defense?
He's a big dude. I know he showed up today, so we got to put pads on and all that, but he's a big dude, and he can move. You put him in the front with some of those guys that we have, and Ox really put on a lot of weight. Khalil's out right now with injury, but he'll be back. And with Dank being such a big boy, and of course Dion, you put him next to Dion, and those are some big dudes. And so I like that size. He's very athletic, and I think we're excited about working with him.
Mark, with all the tight ends who are out, how big of an opportunity is this spring for Isaiah, who didn't have the year he wanted last year, but was great for Cullen?
It was nice. It was nice even day one today. I saw him show up a couple times, and just I think again Isaiah being familiar with the offense, obviously succeeding in this offense, and getting the reps with some guys being out. It's good to see him in there.
How much is the added weight that Ox is putting on? How much is the contribution is he going to make? Much more contribution is he going to make?
He better. He needs to. Ox is a guy that we're counting on. He's a guy. He's been around here for a few years now. It's nice to see him make a conscious effort to put on some weight and add some strength, and be more of a factor. So we're looking forward to that.
Mark, did you say earlier you changed your winter workouts?
Went back to some of the things that I've done before. So it was changed the last couple. Yeah, yes.
Why didn't you decide?
Sometimes you just got to, reevaluate and hit the reset button and look at certain things and don't forget about who we are. And as I said, and I put it on me, not on the team, but on myself. After you're around here for a few years and maybe teams, I can't just assume they're going to understand who we are and what our identity is and how we're going to do things. And that's, my job. And there were probably things that I could have done better going all the way back to last winter. And so I'm not going to let that happen again.
Mark, you guys had some freshmen last year that were standouts and all SEC honors and different things. Are any of those guys like Dane or Barron or Dion taking up, not the first year anymore, maybe a little bit of a leadership role in the position groups, anything like that?
Well, without a doubt, you just see comfort, them understanding. And, early on, sometimes the freshmen, they're just really trying to learn, what routes to run, or in Dion's case, what defense and technique and all that. And as they get better, they get more comfortable, they get more confident. And leadership is a part of that. Yes, because they're very good players, but they're also good young men, and they work hard.
Anybody in mind that you have that maybe we may not know much about that may step up and this?
No, not ready. Nope. Mm-mm.
All right, Coach.
No. I gotta be no. We gotta be a little bit more careful not to put, what's that saying, the cart in front of the horse, right, Lonnie? No, I'm not ready to do that.
Mark, what about you anticipate moving guys around on the offensive line to find your best five out there, changing positions versus what we saw last year?
We will see. I think we'll have some pretty easy flexibility, from experience, and some of it we will do some things intentionally. I tell you, just in general, we are deeper. We're much more solid 10 right now than we were a year ago, and like Jag had a little virus or whatever, a week ago or so, and it was really easy to plug Eli right back in there, and go from there and make moves like that. So we'll have some flexibility.
Mark, everyone talks about Devin, but the other quarterbacks on your roster, how big of a spring is it for those guys to take a jump? And then how important is it to find another, whether whoever wins the job, find a number two that you all can go feel confident about going in the games?
I think it's very important, and I think it gets difficult at that position because we could still be out there repping for the quarterbacks, and just but you only have so many linemen and wideouts and defense backs and so on. But they definitely need the reps, and I thought it was very evident today that they looked better. And I'm not just saying that. I think it's important for us to try to find a clear cut number two. And who is that guy? Because I just today, again, we got to go watch the film right now. We just got off the field, but just from my naked eye and just watching it, they all had their moments. They looked really good at times today. So I thought they improved. I think, you're glad to see that. We had a lot of time this year to do more in the winter that I just mentioned, with walkthroughs and things like that, and the new system and day one install. And so it should be efficient, and they were. Now we'll see what happens in the next 14 practices.
Mark, had a little bit of a changing of the guard with the linebackers, some familiar faces, not around anymore, but guys have played behind them. How are they doing and kind of stepping up and assuming?
Yeah, I don't think, I never talk disrespectful of any of the guys that have ever moved on because you know how much I love them. But it's also like, it always excites me to see the next guy step up. That's refreshing to me. You know what I mean? And so these guys have been working and ready to go, and they stood out today.
How do you feel about your kicking competition, I guess, this spring? Obviously?
We got some work to do. We got a lot of work to do. I think that was evident. We're not going to fix that in one day. But we're going to work at it. We're going to work at it. We worked at it hard today. We'll put them under some pressure, and we'll work it pretty good. I mean, we've already. Coach Bolaware is really working hard, and his great intensity, great organization, and we're trying to light a fire under the entire group, and and that's no different for snappers, holders, all that stuff you heard me talk about a year ago, and and not that we would ever take it for granted, but you don't even mention it unless there's a problem, you know what I mean? And so we have to, we're on it. We're on it hard, and I really like Coach Bolaware, his intensity, like I said, his organization, and just the structure of it. Even with the snappers, holders, they've done more work already than probably they're used to. So we had quite a few kicks today that weren't all out live because I don't want to get some of the O-line, D-line tangled up and injured all the time, but just with timing, operation, snap, 11 on 11. 10 good solid kicks today, and we'll do that at least that many every day.
Mark, with Liam, is it like he never left, or do you see a little different?
Yeah, a little both. It's a definite comfort level. I really, enjoy that part of it. It's almost like he never left. Yeah, just like I said, he has that type of personality where he's always in the staff room. It's always open door. I mean, he's never in his office. I bet you didn't even unpack that thing yet. He sits in the staff room because guys are in there. They're always collaborating and talking and watching film. Players are in and out of there, and it's a good environment, and it's fun.
I mean, obviously we threw a lot of adversity last year with the Rams. How as a coach can that make him better?
It has to make him better. And you've heard me talk a lot, even last year, about scars and learning, and me. I mean, I equate it for myself as a defensive back coach and getting burned in certain coverages and things to head off. It's like you learn from all those years of getting burned, and I'm sure somebody will listen to this and make a comment. Yeah, coach, you do a good job of learning. Got your butt burned. Well, you coach long enough, you're going to get burned. You know what I mean? And you know, if you coach the secondary long enough or any position, you know, you learn from mistakes, and you better learn from mistakes, and you know, try not to let them happen again. But for him, I think just dealing with that type of pressure and stress, and trying to find solutions, trying to find answers, in you know, in that league, and with the injuries they have, it does nothing but help you and help you grow.
Mark, what do you want to see from Tavion Robinson this spring after maybe a year that didn't go the way you wanted?
We want to see a lot out of Tavion. We make no bones about it. We've challenged him, and I've challenged him. I've met with him directly, you know, before we ever made a coordinator change, and I expect him to make big strides and to really push to become the player that I know he can be.
Would you expect Isaiah Cummings to reemerge since Liam knows what he can do, and the playmaker he made from when he was here?
We will see. That's up to Isaiah. That's up to the other. You know, there's a lot of good players around him. Now this spring it's a little different. It's not as deep, but there's really good players. But Isaiah just needs to worry about Isaiah. He'll have that opportunity in this system. And again today I noticed him. Like he stood out today with some big catches. You know, and so that was good to see.
Everybody, I'm sorry, go ahead.
You talked to us from day one about the portal and all your free agents, and you've done a good job, it seems like, through the years addressing needs, but you finally lost someone from the front line, which I don't know if that was a surprise or not, but what kind of impact does that have? How do you guys roll with that?
You mean the guy that's out there that's 6'5", 330? He's pretty damn good. Got 3 years left. So I'm pretty impressed with Keyshawn. You know, really am. I mean, he's a monster, and we gotta get better. But I like the look of him. Certainly lining up next to Dion, and then you know, Jamarius really came along last year with great length, great size, and got years left, and it's gonna make a big difference. You know, so so it's really excited about that. You know, so no, I think we're in good shape at the nose.
Everybody good? Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Okay,
very
thank
much,
you.
Coach.
Mhm.
Yep, see y'all tomorrow. Text everybody what time to